Yeah, we definitely have a fault scarp right there, so that's another area to check out. So I can't believe I haven't noticed this ever before, but this area, I gotta say, it's quite scarpy. Hopefully we'll get up to a scarp to investigate. And it is open today. So that's what we're gonna be looking at. And it gets even more scarpy as you go left. But yeah, we're gonna explore that right now. Yeah, I never see Millard flowing like this down this far. But we got a lot of rain, a lot of snow melt, and it's looking great. Well, this is a little inconvenient, but we're gonna figure it out. Let's do it. So we made it past the crossing. Now we're on our way past the bend. On our way up, we see some magmatite. We're also seeing magnetite flowing down. Not surprising. So here's a beautiful view, and it shows where we're headed, right up there to that fault scarp. And of course, no video of mine would be complete without a little ped action. I just love how it has a similar texture to the Slickenside I've seen. And it seems like this area probably gets some mass wasting, some mudslides, landslides. So we are gonna check out this section right here. Looks pretty scarpy to me. And it extends right over there, which is very, very scarpy. But we'll get to that later. So yeah, it's pretty vertical. Too steep for that tree. It's a goner. Got Peds right here. I'd venture to guess there's some Slickenside under all the sediment. Yeah, right here this rock kind of looks like it has the striations that you would see on Slickenside, like it was just grinding. Kind of out there too. And so much sediment just at the base. Very coarse colluvium. Wondering if this is where the colluvial wedge would be. So yeah, that's the road that leads in, where I showed you guys what the scarp is looking like from over there. Just for reference. So the Sierra Madre Fault was traced and plotted by this guy named Wisnowski. I'm sure I'm getting that name wrong, but he traced this, and he originally put this part at Millard as Section A of the Sierra Madre Fault. And then years later, some other geologists studied the fault, and they concluded that this Section A is not part of the Sierra Madre Fault at all. It's part of the San Gabriel Fault. It's an extension of the Vasquez Creek branch. So this isn't technically the Sierra Madre Fault, but it's way too cool to not check out. And historically, for many years, it was considered to be part of the Sierra Madre Fault. So I'm going with Wisnowski on this one, solely because I want to include it in my project. But wow, look at that. Yeah, check out how steep this is. Beautiful view of the canyon. And you can hear that water roaring. Yeah, then you got downtown LA right out there. All right, so this area right here seems to be the steepest part that I can find, with the least amount of sediment clinging to the rocks. So let's get a fresh break. Oh, we're just trying to get into that rock right there. But it's all so covered in colluvium. Ooh, I guess this is the question right here. Am I gonna actually be able to access the underlying rock? This is coarse and thick. All right, I had to bust out the tactical shovel for this, because we gotta get in there. Hitting what I think is gonna be diorite, but then I realize it's still colluvium. These rocks, I would imagine, are super brittle, but it's pretty cool that it's still maintaining that like cohesion of a diorite. I've been so dying to check out this area. I'm like, do I attempt to scramble up to the top where there's gonna be less sediment and kind of get that wall of colluvium excavated and potentially find the rock a lot easier? This is where my family starts to worry about me, and I start to get it. Just dug into this section to see if we'd have any more luck. But look at that iron oxide from when that sediment was exposed. I had to uncover it. So this right here maintained its cohesion as I dug it out. I'm guessing it's just super stressed out. Just a super brittle rock. I could turn it into colluvium right now. Let's try this area. It's a little suspect, right? Nothing. Okay. Did not expect that. It is pretty cool how all the colluvium is this color, and then up there gets pretty red because of the exposure and the iron oxide. See, I have no one to talk me out of getting up there. And I think I found a way that would involve me climbing quite a bit. 1 unit for this class, my goodness. All right, PCC. All right, we're halfway there. And we are living on a prayer. Whew, let's just take some time to admire the vertical nature of this fault scarp. Wow, look at my only possible choice in a place to put my foot. On the colluvium, which is headed downhill as easily as possible. All right, guys. I climbed up, was almost there to reach the top, and it gave out. Only a little bit of blood right now. But yeah, I'm gonna come down this mountain just absolutely covered in dirt. So I won't show you the bloody part, but yeah, did kind of get me. All right, the sediment does seem finer here after I took out an entire ledge. But let's get a sample, at least one. So yeah, we got a lot of soil, but we also have a lot of the minerals that make up diorite. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can see the hornblende right there. And the feldspars and the muscovite was pretty prominent. I'm guessing we're gonna also see some biotite in the soil sample. Since I'm this high up, I'm gonna attempt to measure the height of the scarp. All right, we're starting at the top. All right, so I made a little hole right there, the bottom of which is 95 inches. Let's see. Now, of course, this isn't going to be entirely accurate because you do have this pileup of sediment at the bottom. If it was more vertical, I'd have a more accurate reading for you guys. But at the bottom, it's about 84. So 84 plus 95, isn't that 179? So it's telling me about 15 feet. Though I am not confident in my measurements here. But 15 feet, give or take. Wonder if this tree is having second thoughts about where it chose to grow. All right, and let's get a colluvium sample too. All right, we got our colluvium sample. Let's take some notes. So yeah, some of this finer stuff, like right here, would be really great for a sample. My digital microscope does not like the coarser stuff. Yeah, I was able to get most of the finer stuff, but of course some coarse grains got in there. And let's go ahead and collect some of this magnetite as well. And this is always the challenge, is getting that very top layer. Right here. Some of that. There we go. Yeah, that was a good one. More striations. And I've seen this before, but I'm always curious as to what that coating is. Right there too. Guys, I just may have found a way up the scarp. Why did I attempt climbing it? So we're here looking down from the top of the scarp. Glad I was able to make it without killing myself in the process. And what's directly behind the scarp wall that I'm on right now is a view of the canyon behind. It's beautiful. All right, this is another part of the scarp that we're standing above. Pretty cool. And it continues that way. So my compass is telling me that this part of the scarp wall is actually going a little bit southwest. But you can see that's not true of the scarp over there that this is just an extension of. That is going northwest. And we know that the strike angle is 68 degrees west of north. And we got a little time. Let's see how far this actually is exposed for. All right, so it does look like there's a scarp wall over there, a little bit exposed. And it continues. And I'm wondering if it matches up with that little exposure right there. Yeah, you can see the Peds on this side, but definitely nowhere on the other side. So this is what's getting uplifted. Yeah, right there it looks so prominent, and I bet when you see this from down below, it just screams scarp. So you got the scarp, and then pretty much lined up with that is possible vegetation lineament. Let's check it out. Wow, look at that. It's getting rockier. You've got a vein going right through here. And then this is where this wall kind of ends. And this is just one last view of this back side of the canyon. We do have a couple of almost gravel size rocks here. This one has a lot of epidote, obviously. This one looks like if I'm right, a Wilson diorite, but definitely some type of diorite. And that's a good shot. You can see some snow up there. You can see some scarpiness. I'm making that a word. And back down the scarp area we go. Let's see if we can find a big rock or boulder or something to get a fresh break. Got lots of epidote, lots of orthoclase. Epidote replacing the plagio. Is that lichen? That yellow? I'm not sure what that yellow is. Doesn't it look a little too orangey to be some type of sulfur? It looks like some type of chemical weathering to me. And that red right there, that's so cool. Yeah, I gotta look at all trails because that's too cool. Gotta see how I can get up there. What trail leads to that? Oh wow, check out that Slickenside right there. That is cool. All right, let's see how many of these guys actually make it home with me and don't get just crushed in my backpack. I also need to figure out what this layer of white is because it's not reacting to acid. And some more diorite it looks like. Oh, look at that hornblende in there. All right, I grabbed this chunk, which yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell from the top how much is in there. So I don't think this is considered a Wilson diorite. I think we got a ton of more Wilson diorites here. A nice vein or dike running through there. Now, what in the world is this? That's beautiful. Is that turning into migmatite? It kind of looks like it. But look at how gorgeous that is. Okay, so we do have a gneiss here. Looks pretty metamorphic. Well, you know what? Let's hammer it up a bit, see if we can get a fresh break. And yeah, this is getting more organization. Oh, look at that. It's really flowing. You know, usually this area right here where I'm about to cross is bone dry. But I'm gonna have to cross it again. That's the only way to my car. All right, guys, you ready? We gotta brave this. Woo! Yeah, that's not good. And before we go,
how these rocks get more ordered to them as I get a little bit lower.
You know, when I come back and I try to get some fresh breaks with the rock hammer, I'm gonna have to do it a bit lower than where the scarp is because of all that colluvium. Maybe just a little bit lower on the trail, as high up as I can get with finding, you know, cohesive diorites and things like that.
Also interesting that this one is wedged into this rock. I like that. That's a lot of force. And yeah, you can tell this is nice. With some ortho. Very cool. And we got a nice dike going right through here. I wonder if that's granite. A lot of more order happening here, organization. It looks like that's almost getting close to kind of the squiggliness of migmatite, but you got another dike right here running through.
And the next time I come, I want to test out this groove caused by the water transport to see if there's any clay, like at Mount Wilson. That was so unexpected. All right, wow. You know, it's not as impressive in the camera, I've found, but it definitely is very migmatite-y over here. Wow, check out this one. First of all, I love how it's getting swirly, it's getting wavy. And then you got these dikes going through it. More waviness and another dike running through here.